He thought he could scare me. Late at night, alone at a bus stop, I was supposed to scream, or freeze, or cry. But instead, I laughed, right in his face. And what happened next? He ran away faster than I've ever seen a man run in my life. If you've ever faced fear but refused to let it control you, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because tonight's story is about turning fear into power, and teaching a creep a lesson he'll never forget. I was 19, freshly moved out, working a part-time job, and figuring out how to survive on my own. No car, no luxury, just me, my bus pass, and whatever courage I could carry around every day. Public transport was my lifeline. And anyone who's ever taken late-night buses knows, it's not always safe, and it's definitely not always quiet. Most nights were fine. But the transfer stop, the Nicollet Mall in Minneapolis, that place always made me uneasy. Imagine a long, narrow street where only buses are allowed. Shops, neon signs, shadows that stretch under yellow streetlights. In the daytime, it's busy. At night, it's a ghost town. That night, I had just left the hospital. My mom was there recovering from surgery, and I stayed late, talking to her, pretending everything was okay. By the time I walked out, the streets were nearly empty. I remember clutching my coat tighter as the bus hissed away and I stepped into the chill night air. I still had to transfer once more to get home, which meant waiting at that bus stop. The shelter was made of glass, lit just enough to make me visible, but not enough to make me feel safe. I checked my phone, no signal. My reflection stared back at me in the glass, tired eyes, messy hair, small frame wrapped in a worn-out jacket. I told myself, 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, then home. But then I heard it. Footsteps. They were heavy, steady, echoing against the pavement. At first, I tried to stay calm. Maybe just another commuter. Maybe a bus driver walking to his shift. But the rhythm of those steps, it didn't sound casual. They were getting closer, faster. I turned slightly and saw him. Tall. Long coat. Hands buried deep in his pockets. He was walking straight toward the bus shelter, not looking around, not hesitating. Just coming for me. My heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat. Every true crime story I'd ever heard flashed through my mind. My hand started to shake, and I backed up instinctively, my shoulder hitting the cold plexiglass wall. He came right up to the outside of the shelter, maybe 3 feet from me. And then, he stopped. For a moment, it was just silence. Then, in one quick motion, he ripped his coat open. I froze. My brain didn't even process what I was seeing at first. Pale skin, exposed body. Then it hit me. He was exposing himself. For a split second, I felt every muscle lock up. My breath caught, my vision tunneled, and the sound of my own pulse drowned out the city. I was supposed to scream. Run. Panic. That's what he wanted. But something strange happened instead. My fear flipped, fast, into anger. Not the quiet kind. The boiling over kind. This pathetic excuse of a man actually thought flashing me would give him power over me? That he could scare me into submission? My hands stopped shaking. My breathing slowed. And before I even realized it, a laugh slipped out. Yeah, I laughed. He blinked, clearly not expecting that. So I locked eyes with him and said, half laughing, "Yup, that looks like a penis, only smaller." For half a second, he froze. His smirk vanished. His entire body tensed. Then, like a switch flipped, he yanked his coat shut, hunched over, and sprinted away down the empty street. I stood there in stunned silence for a moment, my laugh echoing in the empty night. Then I realized I had just won. He came there expecting to feel powerful, and left humiliated. Revenge and release, 8 to 11 o'clock. The next morning, I called the local precinct and reported what happened. They told me this wasn't the first time someone had described a man like that on Nicollet Mall, and that my report might finally help them identify him. That felt good, not just because I stood up for myself, but because I might have saved another girl from going through that fear. I couldn't stop replaying the moment in my head. The way his confidence melted. The way his footsteps, once slow and powerful, turned into the panicked patter of a coward running from embarrassment. He wanted fear. Instead, he got shame. He wanted dominance. Instead, he got laughed at. Sometimes revenge isn't about elaborate plans or months of build-up. Sometimes, it's one line. One perfectly timed comeback that flips the script entirely. After that night, I still took the bus. Still transferred at Nicollet Mall. But I wasn't the same girl who stood trembling in that glass shelter. I held my head higher. I looked people in the eye. And when I heard footsteps behind me, I didn't feel powerless anymore, because I'd proven to myself that even in the worst kind of fear, I could take control. And somewhere out there, I like to think that creep still remembers the night he tried to intimidate a teenage girl and ended up running home in humiliation. Sometimes the best revenge isn't violence or screaming, it's refusing to give them the reaction they crave. Predators feed on fear. And when you laugh in their face, you starve them. That night, I learned something powerful. Fear only wins when you let it. If this story made you cheer, or gave you chills, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs a reminder that strength doesn't always look loud. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying instant karma you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more real-life Reddit revenge stories that prove, sometimes, karma has a sense of humor.